Hello, people of the internet. How is it doing today? As many people waited for a long time. I'm speaking nicely about what it is. Because I suppose people who are old people in my channel would know that me and What House had a bit of beef, but obviously it was stressful times. I suppose you could call it. I wasn't myself when I was obviously calling What House this, that, and the other. And I suppose this is kind of a repayment, I suppose, then, in trying to promote their town. And I would like to ask people who are going to the border regions, Cavan, Monaghan, if you could just pop into Redhills, go for a drink in the local pub, enjoy yourself. And that's something to talk about here. If you could do me that favour, if you're going to Monaghan or anything like that, just pop in for 5-10 minutes, just have a little look around. It'll mean the world to me, and just say that Adrian Logan sent you. And maybe we could get a good reputation of what it is. But again, I just want to emphasise I'm very sorry to the people of What Hills, and this is just to make amends, I suppose. Move on from the past and let the past be the past and let the future be the future. So What Hills, County Cavan, obviously it's so close to the border. Like literally you could just walk. It's about 5 kilometres away from the border. Same as Butler's Bridge, but Butler's Bridge is a bit further away from the border. Redhills, you can literally walk from Redhills into Northern Ireland and back. It's so close. So obviously Redhills, one big thing about Redhills is Redhills was in the tiny towns, has been for the last few years, since 2000. Redhills has always come up and up and up and up the tiny towns. Last year they became Cavan's most cleanest cleanest village. And this became Calvin's most cleanest village. My apologies, I just texted at the same time. So yeah, they become and they really are a very clean town. They really, I have to say, the flowers and they keep Redhills very well tidied, and I really say that, and I really mean it. I really do mean it. It's great to have a community that are willing to clean up and do the extra bit, I suppose you could say. And the people of Redhills are obviously very proud of that, and they should be. And I would like to say to people, if you are in the Tidy Counties competition, you might have a little trip to Redhills and see what they're doing, because they're doing a really good job. Obviously, I can say there's a lovely pub there, McCaffrey's pub, at West Rutland Power, and believe me, the ice cream there was just the last time I was there was 5 years ago. I'm going to go to Redhills soon and do a video around Redhills. But, I had a great time in that pub. I have to say the ice cream was really good, and I said I'd be back, and I will be back. Yeah, and then Redhills has a cow shop. If you're a cow enthusiast, it's not that big of a cow. It's a local garage. It's with local cow shop. I don't know if this does repairs. But I would go there, and if you're looking for a cow, it's not too dear, and it's local. You're supporting the local business. Like, what else do you want? What else do you want? So obviously the transport with the local lakes going all around Cavan everywhere. It's obviously can go from Cavan town. The only flaw is twice a day to Redhills. So obviously in the morning time, 11 o'clock, it goes from Redhills into Cavan bus station, then back to Redhills, and then it goes. It only goes twice a day. That's more or less insane. It's a huge boost the local economy and the local businesses and everything. Obviously, 2 good movies. I just looking here because remember it's not so for me right when they were made. The Playboy was I don't really know much about it. I remember watching the Playboy, but it was 1992 movie. It was based in Redhills. I have to go and watch it. And now I'm talking about, but the one is the country. Be Jace. It was a good movie. Say nothing or you hear more. Say nothing until you hear more. Or you hear more. Something like that. Say nothing or you hear more. And that came out of that movie. And that was a good saying. I even say it nowadays in some of my videos. And it's a good film. It's good. It got an Oscar nomination. It's just great. It's a great film. And I would go there. Because, if you watch it, I'm saying to people now, if you have Netflix, if you have anything that has films on it, me just going like, Have a little look. Look this up because I'm going to look up Playboy after this because I can't remember it. I remember one of the country was great, but I had a good laugh with it. And it was based. And another thing I forgot to top of the GA, Red Hills GA. Obviously great footballers from the Cavan team started in Red Hills and and walked up to county football and played county and the rest of that. So yeah, in the contrast, Red Hills so Red Hills is obviously in the border regions, I suppose you could call it. So just to say to people, but I would say to people, go to Red Hills, have a little nose around. Not nose around, but just have a little look, see what's going on. It's actually a very very clean town, very very peaceful, no crime or nothing. Have a little gossip around. Go into the pub and enjoy yourself. Have a little walk around. There's loads of seats and there's loads of nice flowers to look at. Like when I was giving out about Red Hills, about 2 or 3 years ago, I wasn't in the right place. I wasn't in the mental state, I suppose you could call. So I only came back from I met the hospital for that, and that's the reason why, as I said many a times to people, I do regret it because it was very very selfish to be there. But I honestly didn't know what I was doing. It was just, you were high on medication and obviously everything like that. And I really want to make amends for Red Hills. And that's why I'm doing this. And I will be in Red Hills one day. And if anybody wants to throw an app at me, he's more than welcome. Because the only reason why I'm doing this is to I suppose, give back to Red Hills and to make amends and to move on. Like we can't stay in the dark forever. We have to go into the light at some stage. Even though the darkness might come tomorrow, but forgiveness is hard to get. But the only thing I say to people, please go to Red Hills. Have a little, as I said, have a little nose. Wander, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, again, please go. It's a lovely, lovely little town. We're not even town, called a village. It's called a village mostly. So yeah, thank you for watching. And if you haven't watched Playboy the Wonder Country, look it up. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and bye.